All right, y'all, what is up? What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. Jumping right into it. I have two very popular trigger systems on this table. I have the Atlas trigger on the left in the blue anodized, and I have the red dirt trigger on the right in the purple anodized. Before I get this video started, I just want to say, YouTube, I'm not selling nothing. I'm not giving anything away. This is not a tutorial. This is an educational video, and I'm just displaying what these two triggers have to offer. Now, in this video, we're going to talk about four things specifically. We're going to talk about design, adjustment, size, and fitment. There are going to be time codes within the video, so you can kind of skip around to different parts if you want to just get to a specific part. Now, getting into this, right? Like I said, I've personally been rocking the Atlas trigger for freaking forever, man. Love the trigger. It's been outstanding. I see a lot of people on the 2011 scene running the red dirt trigger as well, so I wanted to try the red dirt trigger as well. And I will say, when it comes down to which one, like the Atlas versus the red dirt, it's really going to come down to personal preference. And what I want to do is show you some things that these trigger systems have to offer, and it can kind of maybe help you decide on which one is better for you. But you can't go wrong with either. I don't really like one over better than the other. They're both dope systems, right? So the first thing, design. The Atlas design is very, very nice. The thing that got me to the Atlas was just the aesthetic of it. I like the blue anodized. I like the shape of it. It just really caught my eye. And at the time when I was putting my 2011s together, like everything was Atlas. I was using springs, tubeless guy rod, the magazine tubes, just all that stuff was Atlas. So I just went with the trigger. Jumping to the red dirt trigger, like I said, there was just so many people. Every time I'm out shooting these 2011s, a lot of people are running red dirt triggers. I would almost say I see people running red dirt over Atlas, and I just had an interest to kind of see what it was about. Now, when it comes to adjustment, that is definitely something you want when you're talking about a 2011 trigger, right? And you're trying to get the trigger pull or the trigger feel that works with you. And those adjustments is what's going to help you do that. So when we're talking about adjustments, the first thing we're going to talk about is the adjustments with the Atlas. Now, the Atlas trigger has a different design. And what I mean by that is that you have the trigger and then you have the trigger bow. And as you can see, this is moving around. The trigger of the Atlas attaches to the trigger bow. And when you were talking about adjusting it, you can kind of spin this around and move this trigger more close to the trigger bow or farther away from the trigger bow. That's one level of adjustment that you have right off. Now, another part of this trigger system that's adjustable is if you are looking at this thing, right, you have this access hole that's right here. And when you come through this access hole, there's a screw. And this screw can be moved in or moved out. And you're probably wondering, like, what is that little bolt for, right? That little screw adjusts the over travel. And you're probably wondering, like, what does over travel do? Over travel limits how far the trigger can continue moving after the sear releases the hammer. And when you adjust this, what that's going to do is it's going to reduce that over travel, and it's going to make the trigger it's going to make it feel a little crispy, and it's going to shorten unnecessary movement after the break. That's what over travel is going to do. Like I said, it's nice having those adjustments because when you're trying to get that trigger feel or you want that trigger behavior, you want those options. Now, when you were looking at the red dirt trigger, this is constructed a little bit differently, right? The trigger is already attached to the trigger bow. So versus the Atlas where you can kind of move this trigger around and take it off, you can't do that with the red dirt. It's already attached on there. Now, as far as that over travel we were talking about, you still have that over travel adjustment. There you got the access holders in the front, and you can access the screw, and the same thing. You can move this back and forth, and you can adjust the over travel. And I already told you what over travel does, right? Now, another level of adjustment that the red dirt has over the Atlas is there's another screw that's right here in the front. And with this screw, this adjusts the pre-travel. Now that gives you a different level of adjustment, and I will say it's very nice to have that. And when you were talking about adjusting that pre-travel Pre-travel adjusts how much free movement the trigger has before it begins moving the bow against the sear. If you turn that little screw in, what it's going to do is going to reduce take up, giving a shorter, more immediate trigger press. So both triggers, right, from the access hole, you're going to adjust over travel. But on the red dirt trigger, you're going to have this extra screw right here, and you're going to be able to adjust the pre-travel. Now, like I said, which one is going to be better for you? It's all personal preference. You got to figure out what you want, all right? So right off, we kind of talk about design, and we kind of talk about adjustment. Now I'm going to talk to you about size. Now, when it comes to size, the sizing is a little bit different. With the Atlas, you have the short, the medium, and the long, and that's pretty much how long this trigger, the trigger shoe is, right? You only got 3 levels with that, and you can get a flat and a curved. I personally prefer the flat trigger. That's just my jam, right? And for this one specifically, this is a medium trigger, and that usually was working best for me and where I place my trigger on my pistol when I'm shooting. The red dirt is a little bit different when it comes to size, right? They have the flat and the curve as well, but one of the things they do when it comes to the size, they don't necessarily have a short, medium, long. They do it by a number system, and their number system runs 1 through 5. When you are on their site, it tells you specifically like what size kind of mimics the type of pistol that you have. So both of these, when I got these triggers, this was kind of messing with my Springfield Prodigy, so that's what worked for me, right? Now, when I was looking at these triggers, I wanted them to be about the same length, but if you're looking at this from top down, if you kind of line these bows up, you can see that the red dirt trigger is a lot shorter than the Atlas trigger. Now, based off of what Red Dirt said, they said the number 3 would have been the same size as the stock trigger on the Prodigy. And this is the medium one. So the medium Atlas versus the number 3 Red Dirt, you can kind of see the size difference. Now, another reason why I went with a different size is a lot of 2011 shooters I see, they're either using the medium trigger or they're using a short trigger. I haven't used a short trigger, so I was like, let me kind of see what that's about. And that's why I got a trigger shoe that's a little bit shorter, just to kind of see what would be the better preference. Because like I said, it's all going to come down to personal preference, right? Now, I'm going to jump back on to adjustment real quick. I was kind of telling you about size, but I forgot this one thing about adjustment. One of the things that's dope about the adjustment is when your gun is together and your trigger is in the gun, when you are adjusting this over travel, you can access this hole when the gun is completely put together. That's fine, right? Now, one of the things you're probably wondering is with this red dirt trigger, you have this pre-travel adjustment. And you're like, man, once this gun is together, can I access this pre-travel screw and make adjustments? And I'm telling you that you can. There's 2 different ways you can access this, right? When the gun is, if you slide down the mainspring housing, you can access it from the rear and come through here. You got an access hole from the rear, and you're gonna have a long Allen key that Red Dirt provides for you, and they give you some little extra little set screws as well, and you can run that from the rear mainspring housing area all the way through, and you can adjust it. And you can adjust that pre-travel there. Also, when your gun is disassembled and it's sitting there and you got the slide taken apart, you can come down from the top and you can access that pre-travel here as well. So you don't have to completely disassemble the whole gun to access that pre-travel screw. So I thought that was a really thoughtful design that Red Dirt put in there to give you those access points so you can make those adjustments, because it would suck to have, I mean, it's a good thing to have the pre-travel adjustment, but it would suck if you got to take the gun completely down just to get to this pre-travel. But you can access that by either coming in through the slide the rear main spring housing down, or taking the slide off and coming down from the top. Those are the 2 different ways you can access that. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is fitment. How do these fit? When you are picking these up, the Atlas trigger system you kind of just pick it up and it's not really specific to any 2011. It may require some fitting. When I put this into my Prodigy, there was some fitting that was required. Not much, just minimum, right? Now with the red dirt trigger went right in there. But also when you are purchasing a red dirt trigger, when you are on their site, it asks you specific questions as far as like which system are you putting this in. So when I told them it's for the Prodigy, I'm guessing that this bow design is catered more toward the Prodigy, so that way it'd fit. And if you got whatever other type of gun, it's probably a different type of bow, so that way it requires like no fitting, kind of be drop in. But regardless of the trigger system, it may require some fitting, right? So I have my Prodigy grip right here. Now when you install this, when this trigger goes in here, and I'm just going to slide this in here so you can see real quick. I'm going to show you what the fit looks like. There you go. Now when this is in here, this needs to be super loose. This is what you want. You don't want any binding. You don't want any unnecessary. It needs to be super loose. Now, when I had to do the fitting, there was just minor adjustments because the thickness of the trigger bow right here was too thick. And it just had to take some off the top and take some off the bottom. Not a lot, just a little bit. Now, when it's in there, the fit is pretty good. There's not too much moving up top, shaking it up top, and then shaking it left to right. It's just very minimal movement. And if you look at the top, like right here, you can see just a little bit of space at the top between the grip and the trigger. But the fitment was pretty good. I like that. And like I said, I've been running the Atlas trigger for freaking forever. Never had no issues with it or anything like that. Now, when it comes to the red dirt trigger, same thing. When it's in there, it needs to be super, super loose. And that's what you want. You don't want no binding, no nothing, right? And like I was saying, when I don't have my rear spring housing, but when you slide it down, you can come in through the back and access that pre-travel screw. Or when you take the slide off, you can come in through the top and you can access that screw right there as well. Now, when that red dirt is in there, you see how much shorter it is? It is mad short. Now, as far as up and down movement, inside the side movement, it feels the exact same. I don't feel a difference between the Atlas and the red dirt. I think they are both about the same, but you could just see how much of a difference this length is when this trigger system is in the grip. Like you see, you kind of almost where this little first knuckle part is where it stops. And when you have the Atlas in there, let me slide with this movable thing. You can see it's so much further forward. And like I said, different options. Just it's all personal preference, man. What is going to work for you or what's not going to work for you, and what you like and what you don't like. When it comes to design, another option that I like is that since this trigger is sitting on the bow, you can completely take this trigger off the bow. So let's say for whatever reason you had like a blue trigger and then you wanted a red trigger, you wouldn't have to get a whole new system with the bow and the trigger. You can just swap it out, you know, like so. You can just have you another trigger and swap it out. With the red dirt design, you don't have that option. Since it is already fixed on here, you would have to get a whole new trigger system. A new trigger, new bow, everything is already all the way connected. And when you see this type of system, this is pretty much how a lot of the stock 2011 triggers are already. They're just already, the trigger's already on the bow. It's kind of fixed in there and that's it. Now, as far as this over travel thing, this is like a normal thing for most 2011s because this is a stock trigger out of another 2011 and it already has the over travel adjustment. Now, another thing when it talks about preference, like this is a stock trigger. One of the things I didn't like about some stock triggers, this has these ridges on here. Like, I don't like that textured feeling of the trigger. I prefer my trigger to be flat and smooth right here. So when my finger is resting against there, I don't want to feel any ridges on there. This is just a personal preference thing. So, like I said, which trigger system is better than the other. I don't think either one is better than the other. What it comes down to is just personal preference, man. What are some of the options you want? What are some of the adjustments you want? And what works for you, man. Some of it's trial and error. I would say if you got a buddy that possibly has a 2011 with one of these triggers in there, hey, hit them up, see if you can go out there and shoot their gun. That way you can kind of get a feel for it. Or worst case scenario, hit up the manufacturer. Hit up Atlas, hit up Red Dirt. Both of those folks have excellent customer service. I've never had an issue with any of their customer service. As a matter of fact, the Red Dirt thing that I really liked about them is when you get something from them, when I got my dang on invoice, it's got a handwritten note on there, and I'm just a sucker for handwritten notes because that's just a level of appreciation to the customer that I just really appreciate it. But that is all I got for you, man. This is your boy, Mr. Rob Armstrong, aka the Comms Guy. If you are liking the content, please subscribe to the channel. If you found this video helpful, hey man, drop a like, drop a comment, and if somebody else could use this video, make sure you share it with them. I'm out.